ocean while sailing across the sea. Think of handsome Molly, wherever she may be. Sailing across the ocean while sailing across the sea.
Trust the process.
Trust
the process. So we just found out through confirmation that my uncle / grandfather's old sailboat is still owned by Carl, which is going to be at the Port Townsend Wooden Boat Festival. So we are doing a very last minute, look how dark it is outside, very last minute trip to Port Townsend. So here we go, let's go. Made it onto the ferry. It's super dark out. There's Edmonds back there. Made it to Port Townsend. The kids are sleeping. How did they do that? Oh, this one didn't make it in. Maybe it's
sailing the bottle.
It's sailing the bottle, yeah. Oh my gosh, wow, that's wood. That she did that. Wow. I'm gonna film. So sorry. It like looks like skin.
Keep it under control when you finish it.
I mean, I guess it is skin. Yeah. Wow. You want to see you want to sail that boat? We could get a boat smaller than that has just one mast, and we could do that.
Fiberglass is real thin. It just.
Go ahead, just one piece.
Light craft, and I was going to use that for my basing.
What do you say, Madison?
And kayaking on it. And my wife decided it was too small and didn't have a bathroom, so we bought a bigger motorhome. And I was kind of bummed. It's like, well, you know, I really didn't build that for her.
You should have told him we saw a humpback whale. The name of their paddles are called humpback paddles. Do you see? Here, I'll hold it for you. That car is super cute. No, you can wait a little bit.
This is what he uses for. It's just knots in the rope, right? And they just roll them over and over.
If you can't tie a knot, tie a lot. Right? That's how that fender came about. How wide that teal boat is right there.
Yeah, low and high.
I'm Carl, the skipper of Placebo, which I've owned for now 32 years.
That's
yes,
incredible.
and you know something, your father had the record at 30 years.
Grandfather.
No, well, Elton's your grandfather, and
Yeah.
George is your father?
No, uncle. I know. I know. So his children are Stephanie and Christopher.
Okay. I spoke with Stephanie last. Her comments are in the book.
Oh, really?
The book, Dr. Archie Steele's biography. When his wife died, his daughter, who was an editor, encouraged him to write his autobiography. 14 years went by and he didn't finish it. When Madeline herself got elderly, she's 89 today, Born Able was made, her son retired as a chemist and he got on board. So 3 generations came together to complete this book, which just came out in January. And when it starts his yachting years, the first boat is, of course, Placebo. And then he launched Stella Maris. Are you familiar with Stella Maris? Which was bastardized and turned into a cutter from its beautiful wishbone catch rig, and then was owned by Dr. J. Connor, who is Dennis Connor's grandfather, and so that was confirmed by Mr. Connor for the book. And then Dr. Steele built Stella Maris, which he launched in 1939, and he won the Transpac in 1941 and 1947 with Stella Maris 2 at 56 feet plus a 6-foot bowsprit. And he built all 5 of his boats behind his medical practice, Los Angeles. And here's a really fun one. Madeline shared a vintage old picture of Placebo in the yard. It took some years, but I finally started to pick up some little details. For example, some other boats in the yard, they all had the same mast as Placebo. Well, I finally made out the name on one of them. It said Common Sense. I put Yacht Common Sense into the net, and it brought up right away another Nova Scotian named Matt Walsh, born 32 years prior. In fact, he came to the States in 1898, the same year Dr. Steele was born. So anyhow, the two linked up, and Matt Walsh has an incredible fame. Look him up, Matt Walsh, from sailing victories, famous boats, this and that. And he and Dr. Steele obviously were close friends. So, but the hull is distinctly Dr. Steele's work, and the mast, which is original at 90 years old, may have come from one of the shipwrights who the Common Sense. So anyhow, you must get a copy of this book, A. Steele, M.D., Reflections at High Tide.
Thank you.
$18 for some really good entertainment. No, it's not just boats, it's all his medical history, which is primarily what he wrote about. And your autobiography will not, you don't want it to look like his, with chapters that include addiction, alcoholism, all these horrible things, but that's not him, it's his patients.
So what type of doctor was he practicing as?
I guess I don't know too much about that. He's just a general practitioner.
Okay.
He had his office, which he took patients and also did house calls. And long after everybody else stopped that, he continued it. And when his colleagues were urging him to become a specialist to make more money, I guess he decided he just wanted to do what he's always done.
Yeah.
So in any case, he retired at 92 and a half. And maybe you found the Los Angeles article, which states, patients won't let doctor retire. 5 generations. 5 generations. So whenever I see a picture of him, he always has his medical bag, not down below, but in the cockpit.
Ready to
The
go.
medical bag. Yeah.
Good for him.
Then there's the Hollywood stuff. I won't spoil the book. His son dived below in Catalina Island to retrieve Humphrey Bogart's sunglasses and stuff like that. on it goes. I could fill up your memory card with the trivia that's just boggling fantastic. And you know, I bought the boat before the internet, so when Madeline, his daughter, found me, things really started to happen. But it still took 12 years of corresponding. And while I was eager to see it come together, but every year or two we get this avalanche of fantastic stuff. So, you know, whole book is just fantastic.
So can I ask you, what number owner are you of Placebo? Do you know?
As of 1957, I'm number 4. Let me tell you about the guy in 57. His name was Kenyon. And he worked in an aircraft manufacturing plant in Los Angeles. It's one of a common name, Douglas or whatever. Amelia Earhart's plane came in for a repair. The 2 fins on this Electra, one got punctured, so a piece of aluminum had to come off. And there was a handwritten graphics on it. That was thrown in the trash can. He collected it. He has the only surviving, and his gig was antique aircraft with skin and rigging, much like the mast, and all this diagonal, this and that.
That's right.
So that was very fascinating. The survey from '57 stated the boat was made in 1937, but George told me it's not. 1936 is when Stella Mars at 40 feet was launched, and so it's not known between 1930 and 1935.
Who the owners?
No history of anybody prior to that. Yeah, no records prior to 57.
So did that gentleman sell it to George then?
No. There's a second guy. He also had it for also 2 years.
Okay.
And his claim to fame is one of 3 people who came up with a patent for some kind of industrial glue.
I love that.
Everybody's got a little.
Everybody's got a something. Yeah, I love
so
that.
in any case, George owned the boat for 30 years. George, 20 of it, Elton enjoyed. Had his registration stickers.
Yep. Oh my gosh, not on top of each other. They
Yeah, it's your, you know, your credentials here. So, let's see. Oh yeah, the house was collapsing.
Yes.
The sides were going out. He put eyes, chain, and turnbuckle right in the middle of a boat that has no standing headroom.
Well, you're about the same height as Elton was.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Yeah.
But still, I say there's plenty of headroom if you just open the companion with the whole sky above you. But you know, anybody looks at that little house and they'll say, that's perfect for that boat. You don't log house or 2-step house. So.
And you've never put a motor on it, ever?
I've never put an engine on it. But I'll never put anything on that beautiful transom, which I just rebuilt. But I have experimented with a 65-pound thrust Minn Kota 24 volt, and for that I made an oak assembly that I could stick the shaft in and a C-clamp. I didn't molest the boat in any way like that.
Perfect.
Yeah. But the thing is, what I found is it's pour on range, and as soon as there's the slightest puff, the boat is gone.
In Bellingham?
That's what I'm at, yes. So sailing engine free. Never thought of that one. Everything's free.
So what's your plan with Placebo then? Just keep her until forever?
Well, that will probably be the case. Having had it for so long, that boat requires a lot of muscle. And as much as I try to eat eggs and stuff, it's hard to put on muscle anymore. and so I've got to kind of think about, I'm doing a soft sail is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
In other words, I can't begin to figure out what an appropriate value would be. I looked at some yacht
I couldn't even, there's
listings.
hard to
It's the
compare.
only one in the weekend. And secondly, well, if I give myself 5 cents an hour, then I might have to ask $50,000.
When Elton had the boat, it was in a different...
Oh, it's Squalicum Harbor. It's C3.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'd only gone to that marina once prior to buying the boat, and I saw her and I said, oh, that's a beautiful boat.
Aww.
I know better to get into that. And the damnedest thing, about 2 months later, it was on the Hard, and here I am. Some guy came through and he said, isn't that the boat from C3? I thought, they said he kicked sawdust when he came down to the boat. That's what he did. He kicked sawdust.
We only have 11 horsepower on our vessel, so
That's 11 more than I have.
We'll race you someday, maybe when. But actually, you have the faster boat. You're full keeled.
I would not bet your pink slip on that one. This boat she's so quick.
Oh yeah, she's awesome.
Here's an interesting trivia. You know, the rudder is solid bronze. It's 110 pounds of bronze.
No, okay.
And,
That's not her? What's her ballast then?
2,100 pounds. I recast the ballast.
Okay.
I had to because the draft was increased by 8 inches, it was really bastard work done before 57, where they added an extra column of, okay, they dropped the lead, raised the boat, and added extra keelson members, lengthened the bronze rudder, poured a 3-foot section of lead on top of the existing, put concrete on either side of that, dug out from the original lead and added concrete, causing the lead to crack the gunion which the rudder sits on. All depends. I had to make a model of the ballast and get some help from Gill's Aluminum Foundry. They made a catalyzed sand mold. I cut the lead into bread loaf sizes. I think bigger than a loaf of bread is too heavy. Using metal, but so anyhow, it came back a beautiful, perfect ballast ingot. No drill holes, nothing. I had to situate that on the trailer. The new Purple Heart and Iron Bark keel timber, and jockey everything up, down, side, forward, this and that. And it had to be perfect because the rudder gunion, if it's not just right, that rudder will not work right. It's perfect. There's too many times I said, my brain isn't together. I'm going to go drink at the beer garden and forget about
Take a
this
break.
today.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it took
You
me
do.
3
You have to
years.
walk away.
I did. You really have to wait till you get that eureka moment, and then aha! And I did that enough times, and it really paid off because I think my first idea, that'd be a hash job. So
You did
I had to
such.
sleep on
She's
it.
gorgeous. I mean, we haven't seen her today. What color is she? What's the color called?
Pettit's Bikini Blue.
I
And
like that.
Pettit's is my favorite topside paint, and this blue, light blue, goes really well with a blonde mahogany maple toe rail cap, which is a little. It's been sailed hard all. I said, oh, should I? No, it's the end of the season. It's part of the boat's character. We'll do that.
End of the season. You're not a year-round sailor.
Not anymore. I did it only one winter, and it was ripping, screaming fast. Well, the reason I haul it also is I keep her on the hook versus a marina slip.
Yeah.
So it's kept me in the poorhouse, and I like the slip. I like the hook, I should say. I like paddling out. There's no electrolysis out there. Swinging on the hook is fun. Well, for me, once the hook's set, I can go below and I conk out. So it's just bobbing up and down. Now, my worst experience on a boat as far as being fearful is when I'm at home in my bed there and the wind's blowing and I know the boat's on the hook. That's scary. Boat, it's all good. I go to sleep. It's great.
Yeah. Oh, Carl, it's so good to see you. I'm
Nice
so
to see you,
excited.
Michelle. Well, come down to the dock and come on board the boat because it's been quite a while since you've seen it. Great.
Gorgeous.
I can pull it. If you feel daring enough, you're welcome to climb aboard and have a look around.
Inside, this used to be, originally was the Placebo, then she was the Minuet, and now she is the Placebo again. Oh, there's the hatch cover. See that, his hatch cover? This is gorgeous inside. Mm-hmm. No, this is a poker stick. But maybe he also uses it as a whisker pole. Wow. And you put your name on everything.
Well,
Show me anything that you want to tell me.
Anything bronze is original. This is all solid. All original. Actually, I replaced that piece. I said, nah. Yeah, what I tell you here, that's hard to even see with the camera. Well,
It picks
might
up,
just
it's
mention
okay.
that hatch is original. Otherwise, everything has got a story in terms of its salvage. We've got teak that cost me $110 that's salvaged from Medina where Bill Gates lives. I don't think it's from his house. This maple was the crookedest board at Crosscut Hardwoods, and I got it discounted, but it turned out to have the perfect bend to fit. I snapped this thing in. Normally I'd have to bend it and hope it doesn't break. I snapped it in up to that point without fasteners.
Yeah.
It was meant to be on this boat. There's teak was from a medical clinic. There's oak that came from the schooner Raglan, which Neil Young owned for 37
Wow.
years. Oh, what else? And of course, the Douglas fir came from a Longview, Georgia Pacific mill. Bits and pieces here and there. Of course, it's all recast.
Wenches
boughs.
are
Those
original.
wenches. Yep.
Well, and all these years later, I didn't know when I was a little girl that I would ever become a sailor. I never knew that.
You didn't think it was ingrained into you?
Well, my father owned a sea dory, so maybe I thought I was going to be more of a powerboat kind of girl.
Yeah, no.
Tell me about the rolling furler boom.
Okay. I lift it up.
Okay.
There's a pin. I let it down, and
Yeah.
it rotates.
No kidding.
Yes, and this literally. Oops. Oh, I've got it tethered right here.
Yes, you do.
This literally unrolls to produce any size sail you want within limits. Really, I shouldn't say infinite because the sail has to support the boom, of course. I've had it up 6 feet, but the topping lift had to be on for a following wind. It was a nutty day.
Okay.
But otherwise, there's no tabs, or what do you call them, reefing tabs?
Yeah.
I gotta set the pin, which is there we go. Nope, it's set to go the other way. So I rotated 180 degrees that way, and it tightens up as I.
Was this always a furling?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
All right.
original.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, even this rigging here's.
Don't even remember that.
Replace that.
It looks great.
And that's all original. The cleats, all those bits there.
Yeah.
Yeah, all these turnbuckles, it's all the same stuff. And of course, the deck is all different. It
Sure.
was interior grade plywood when I got it.
Oh my gosh. Who puts
Yes.
plywood on a
With
sailboat?
holes throughout. Well, if it's marine, that's another. It wasn't even exterior grade AC. It was just interior grade. A mess.
That old cleat. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool, Carl.
And it's
Birds.
so nice to know that it's in a good state. That it's going to last a long time.
Yeah, you have definitely. You've given her the life that she deserves, for sure.
Leash on life, you know it.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed watching the interviews with Carl. This was the last time that I saw Placebo when she was still called the Minuet in 2014 when I was pregnant with my daughter. I would like to leave you with some lasting pictures. This is my grandfather with the Minuet on the hard. And I believe that we don't know who officially named her the Minuet, but it was very fitting that Carl took the plunge and renamed her Placebo. So I will leave you with some pictures, and thank you so much for watching this video that's very special, near and dear to my heart, and one of the big reasons now that I've discovered as to why I sail.